Well, again, everyone from Facebook and our extended community here, super excited to have you for our webinar. We're going to be talking about summer self-care tips. I'm Dr. Chad Walding. With me here today is Coach Rachael in the chat. We also have Krista from our team, who's amazing. And before we get started with anything today, let's do some housekeeping points. So really, there's 2 points right here for housekeeping. Number one, I will answer as many questions as I can during the presentation, and we'll save time at the end to respond more. So if you have a question, you can put it in the chat. There's also a Q&A section where you can be more intentional about your questions. Krista is also there to help answer questions as we go. Rachel will be looking through the chat, and if there's some good questions that pop up, she's going to be asking me those so I can answer them live. But again, we will answer them all as best we can at the end of the presentation, so you'll want to stay for that. Second point is, although I am a doctor, the information in this presentation is not meant to be personal medical advice. Please always seek the advice of your physician or qualified healthcare provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition or treatment. And with that, here's our agenda for today. We're going to be showing you some things for posture. Your posture is so important. Also, your hips. I'm going to talk about why your hip strength is so important, the stability around your hips, and how that applies to your balance, your health span, your longevity, and your functional independence. And then we're going to break all these movements up and show you a good routine that you can do. And then we're going to have some break-off sessions. We're going to have some time today where you can move with me. I'm going to be showing you some great things that you can do with resistance, so you can feel free to get active with me. If you have some resistance bands, that might be helpful too. We'll be talking about those later. And then Rachel, as I mentioned, she's going to show you some really great summer treat recipes. So going to give you lots of recipes as well as show you exactly how to do them. And lastly, again, a Q&A at the very end with myself and Coach Rachael. So back to the heat. We're here to beat the heat, you guys. I'm only able to go outside and work out from a small window, and it's like from 6:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. Anything after that is like way too hot. I feel like I'm gonna end up somewhere bad, so I have to go outside and be very intentional. But summer is in full swing, and we know it can get super duper busy, and now more than ever, it's important to stay active and take care of yourself. So before I get to what I'm going to talk about today, I want to briefly discuss like what I call the 5 areas of health. These are different areas of health that impact your well-being, right? So number 1 would be what you eat, what you put in your body, what you drink, what you eat, the quality of the food and beverages you put in your body. There's also how you move, right? Your fitness and the quality of your movement. There's your sleep, your relationships are another aspect of health that doesn't often get talked about. And then there's your thinking, your emotions, your stress levels. That really comes down to the quality of your breathing. But more and more research is showing that your fitness, your functional capacity impacts your longevity more than any of those other areas of health. And you know, as many of you know, I'm a doctor of physical therapy. I spent many years treating people in their later years of life. And I've witnessed what I would say is like the best case scenarios and the worst case scenarios. And I started thinking about something called health span rather than just lifespan. So in our culture, in our modern culture, we're really stuck on lifespan, right? That is how long are we going to live, right? And we're doing better about helping people live longer, right? We have a lot of technology and science now. We can have people live longer, but that's not necessarily mean we're living better. So I like the term health span, where you're not just living longer, but you're living a good life. You're living a healthy life where you're functionally independent and you can do all the things you want to do as long as you want to do them. So this is the reality that I would see as a physical therapist going into people's homes and also going into nursing homes, right? The reality is at the end of life, for like 2, maybe 5, sometimes 10, 20 years, most people are just barely hanging on to life. Right? They're living in nursing homes. They need help with transfers. They're not able to get in and out of the bed independently, or they need help up and down from the toilet, or they needed a device. They're often taking lots of pain pills, lots of other pills to just keep them going. There's lots of money with insurance in that. There's often a lot of dependency on other family members in order to stay independent. And when I went to nursing homes, what I would see, and this is very sad, people would be there for 10, 15 years, just laying in bed with a remote control, wearing diapers, flipping channels, watching The Price is Right, watching the news all day, eating bad foods, and a nurse would come in with a big tray, lots of pills, and it was a very lonely experience. So I would call that like worst case scenario, right? On the other end, I would see best case scenario. I remember I treated a woman named, she was a French woman named Marguerite, and I saw her, and she was 101 years old, and I walked a mile with Marguerite, right? So and I don't know how long she lived, but I saw her for 8 weeks, and I had the best time with her. She was happy. She lived with her daughter. She had no cane. She was able to get up and down from the bed independently, go to the restroom independently, and walk a mile with absolutely no assisted device. That is best case scenario, right? So today, for my portion of what I'm going to be talking about, is I'm going to be talking about the movement part of what it means to be on the path, right? When we talk about NativePath, we say get on the path, stay on the path. There's an eating component, there's how you live your life, but there's also a movement component, right? So I'm going to be addressing that stuff coming from the perspective of a physical therapist whose intention is to help you with your functional independence, right? I'm not necessarily interested in you running marathons or going out for the Olympics. I'm interested in you kicking butt until you're 102 years old, right? Independently. That's what the things I'm going to be showing you today. So let's get started with exercise number 1. And the areas, I think we mentioned this before, but we're going to be focusing on your posture, right? Your posture, your hips, and your balance, your human frame. These are the things that are going to keep you independent for as long as you want, right? So here we go. What I'm going to be showing you, number 1, are band pull-aparts. Again, these are coming with resistance bands. I'm going to show you how to get these for free, actually later today. Band pull-aparts are amazing. They are so good for your posture and helping you stay upright. It targets the back of your shoulders and really the middle area in between your shoulder blades. Those muscles are called rhomboids and your middle trap, right? Many of us are slouching, right? We're slouching with rounded shoulders, a forward head, and when that happens, these muscles in the back between the shoulder blades, they get very elongated and they get very weak, right? So band pull-aparts are super great for strengthening those back muscles to help bring you more upright. And when that happens, your human frame is in a better position, your breathing is in a better position, and all of a sudden, all these great things in your body, these hormones start coming online that make you more powerful, that make you more happy, that improve your immune system. Your posture matters. Staying with posture here, I'm going to show you shoulder W's. And what this really targets is your rotator cuff. Has anybody had problems with their rotator cuff or torn a rotator cuff or had a rotator cuff surgery, right? That rotation, there's a group of 4 muscles that make up what we call your rotator cuff, right? It is external rotation that we want to strengthen in order to get those rounded shoulders back, right? So that's what shoulder W's do. This is really great for helping you stay upright, also improving your posture and really keeping your muscles engaged throughout the day. And then I'm going to show you, this is probably my favorite. These are called star drills, also with the band. This is a more dynamic movement that really opens up your posture because it hits multiple areas of the back. It hits the middle trap, it hits the upper trap, the lower trap, the rhomboids, and it gets you moving in this diagonal pattern that is very functional and applicable to the things that you do in life. And the more dynamic pattern, it also gets your brain working and your nervous system more involved, which is so important for your function. And then after we finish these 3 posture exercises, we're going to work our way to the hip. So hip strength, hip stability, right? This is what we have to have in order to stay functionally independent, to get up from the bed, to get up from the toilet, to get out of the chair, to get in and out of the car, right? Hip strength. This is often completely ignored with conventional exercises, especially on machines or if you're just doing yoga or riding a bike or something like that. This is so important. So I'm going to show you monster walks. Hip stability is what this is really focusing on. And it's also very important for your balance. And remember, everyone, this whole community, we want to avoid falls. We want to avoid falls. When we fall, we tend to have fractures. When we fracture ourselves and we can't move for a long extended period of time, that's when disease starts to creep in. If you look at mortality, it often goes on paper as this person died of a stroke or this person died of heart disease or some other thing. But if you look at most of those cases, what happened before that is a fall and a fracture. There's less movement, there's less blood flow, right? Because of the fracture. And then on paper, it goes down as some other diagnosis. I'm here to tell you from experience, working with people, balance is so critical, hip strength is so important. Then I'm going to show you seated abductions. This is great for people who maybe are starting out and they're just in a chair and they can't move so much, right? But these seated abductions, they're applicable for everybody, right? I'm a fairly high level athlete. I coach a lot of athletes. I still have people do this because it targets the glutes. And in our culture, we have a case of gluteal amnesia. People are sitting on their butts and their glutes are getting really weak. It creates a very unstable pelvis, very unstable back. So here are these seated abductions, also with the band, really activates your external rotators in your hip. So important for stability around the pelvis, and it's a must-have for hip health. Then I'm going to show you banded squats. This can be done from a chair where you get up and down, and what this really teaches you is proper knee alignment and proper activation of the hip while you're moving. Many people, when they get up from the chair, in and out of the bed, from the toilet, they're doing it very improperly. And they're just putting all the pressure, rather than having the force coming through the muscles, they're putting it all in their tendons and their ligaments, and that's how we get bone on bone. Improper movement, right? We want to strengthen that up and really get the hip and the whole movement pattern improving, and this teaches you the right way. And then for balance, lastly, I'm going to show you standing single leg shutter kicks. These are so good, not only for balance, but getting the entire hip in 4 different directions to work. It also gets you working on single leg, right? 1 leg rather than 2, and you can also use a broomstick to do this. So that's my talk on the importance of functional capacity, posture, hip strength, and balance. Now it's time to start moving. So I'm gonna take us away from this right here. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen and welcome to my living room, our living room. Brenda and I are so happy to have you here. And I'm gonna make my screen a little bigger so we can all see. And let's see, spotlight me for everybody. Okay, how's that? Looking good here, Rachel? Okay. So let's get started. Let's get started with the first one that I talked about, which is a band pull apart, right? And before I even get there, remember, these resistance bands are incredibly helpful. I love resistance bands, right? So if you go to any physical therapist in a clinic, they're using these things, right? You can put them in your pocket. They're extremely affordable. Like I mentioned, we're going to show you a way to get them for free today because we're such big fans of resistance bands. It's a great way to get a whole workout done in your living room without having to pay for a gym membership and go somewhere else. You know, another question I get is, Dr. Chad, what do you think about this $3,000 exercise machine? You know, like just yesterday, someone emailed me and said, hey, what do I think about this $3,000 exercise machine? And I'm like, it's not even that good. Like, you can get way more done with this right here than your gym membership or some $3,000 exercise machine, and take it with you wherever you go. You can put this in your pocket. So I'm really excited to show you guys some things that you can do to improve your posture, your hips, and your balance with resistance bands. So first things first, the band pull aparts, right? So I'm going to show you this on my knees right here, but really you can do it in standing or sitting. And you can see what I did there is I just took the resistance band and then went right here, okay? And then from here, palms down, I just go out and in slow. That in slow is the most important part. We don't want to just do this right here, real fast over and over. You want to build endurance on the eccentric. That's the part where we go back and the muscles are under tension, and keep the tension on the band, right? So I don't let it come all the way back in here. I keep the tension on the band, and a good number to shoot for is anywhere between 10 and 15 reps, just nice and easy. Again, we're targeting the back, in between the shoulder blades, in between, I'll get into those rhomboids and middle trap activated. And what this does, it fixes this, right? Many of us are doing that, and that causes us to rely on a walker, and that makes us fall forward. So we got to get that posture up in that good position. Think about pulling and getting those muscles more activated, right? So real simple, band pull aparts, pulling apart, coming back slow, right? Coming out, coming back slow. So next I'm going to show you shoulder W's, right? So shoulder W's, you're going to take them like this, right? Palms up, thumbs pointed out, elbows to the side, and then going out, making a W, coming back slow. Out, making a W, coming back slow. And you can see I have a fixed angle that doesn't change in my elbows. So I'm not straightening my elbows in any way or bending the elbows. It's a fixed angle that goes out, comes in slow. And this exercise looks like it's so simple. It doesn't take more than maybe 3 to 5 repetitions. And the back of the shoulders, right where the rotator cuff is, right? Remember, rotator cuff, it rotates. What we're doing here is externally rotating and targeting those muscles that get so elongated and weak. Shoulder W's. Again, 10 to 15 repetitions, pretty much all you need. Nice and easy, and you'll feel it. Again, the main thing, 3 seconds on the way back. Keep that tension, okay? Next one I'm gonna show you, my favorite with the upper body and posture, is star drills. So here's where we use a more dynamic pattern. You're gonna start here, and we're gonna start with the band pull-aparts, come back slow, but then we're gonna switch it, go 1 up, 1 down. Keeping the middle of the band over the middle of our chest, come back slow. Switch it this way, come back slow. Both arms moving at the same pace, right? So here is 1, 2, 3. That's 1 cycle, right? So a good number is about 5 cycles, 3 to 5 cycles. Going through this, remember when you're doing it, sit tall or stand tall, and notice how we're moving a big dynamic pattern, getting lots of muscles working that hold us upright. Our middle trap, our upper trap, our lower trap. But the great thing here is the brain is getting really involved with these dynamic patterns. So here's upper trap on the left working, lower trap on the right, right? That is a great way to keep you upright. So those are star drills. Next up, we're gonna show you some things that you can do for your hip. So you see this band, this one I just showed you, I have a band that's not tied in any way. This next one, all I did was loop it, right? I looped it, I'm gonna put it around my ankles. I'm gonna show you monster walks. So monster walks, outstanding way to strengthen the hips, okay? So I've got the band around my feet. With monster walks, you want the feet just wider than the hips. Knees stay over the toes, not here. Knees stay over the second toe. A nice slight dip like this. And what I'm gonna do is walk forward, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. About 10 meters forward, and then backwards. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. It starts to burn really quick, you guys. And the next one, not only can you go forward and back, you can go side to side. So here we go. Step, 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 step. About 10 meters this way, 10 meters that way. Now, even if this is tough for you, you can do this in the kitchen next to a counter where you're holding your hands on something if you feel unstable. Everyone can be doing this, right? And you feel the burn, the muscles that hold you up. I'm already getting huffy puffy. I'm already getting huffy puffy. So those are monster walks, a must do, an absolute must do for your hip strength, okay? Let me show you the seated abductions from the chair back here. So here's our chair, right? You can take this band around the ankles, bring it up, put it just below the knees right here. All I'm gonna do, sitting up tall, not slouching, sitting up tall, spread the knees, bring them back slow. Spread the knees, bring them back slow. Out and in. And what this is basically doing, it's kind of like strengthening the rotator cuff of your hip. Remember the shoulder W's? We're rotating. Same thing here. There's a rotational component to all of our joints, especially the hip and the shoulder. And this wakes up the glutes. Remember, out, come back slow. Out, come back slow. They have machines like this at the gym. You can do it right here in the comfort of your own home without getting so hot and going outside and driving to the gym. You can do it right here with these resistance bands, okay? So the progression of that is a sit to stand. You can do it from a chair or you can do it without a chair if you feel comfortable. But all we're gonna do, first things first, position the feet in a good position. So feet just slightly wider than the hips, toes slightly pointed out. Keep the knees over the second toe. We're gonna lean forward, stand up, and down. Lean forward, stand up, and down. Again, what we're targeting here is the hip, those external rotators in the hip, but the other thing it's doing is teaching your brain, giving you biofeedback with this resistance band to keep your knees over your second toe. Where we go wrong, where people get a lot of knee pain and hip pain, is this right here. Standing up and getting down like this. There's no activation of the hip there, right? All the pressure is going on the knees and the back, right? You want to train good movement, right? You want to practice this and master this. Come up, down slow, keeping the knees over the toes, okay? That's a chair squat with a band, all right? Must do, really great. Also, 10 to 15 repetitions all you need. So next one, I'm gonna show you, if you can see it, I've got a band tied back there to my nightstand, right by the couch, just like this, okay? We're gonna do a 4-way shutter kick. Let me show you what that looks like. So, I'm going to loop the band around my foot here. And I'm going to use this other broomstick for balance, okay? I've got it looped around my left leg. I'm going to balance on my right leg. I'm going to take my foot, go across my right, and go out real quick, like this. Nice and easy. What's working is not the leg that's moving. What's working really hard is the leg that's trying to stay stable and prevent me from losing my balance. You can use a broomstick or some other tall object, or you can remove it altogether for more progression, right? So 4 ways. We're going out to the side. You can turn it this way, still balancing on my right, kicking forward with the left. You can turn this way, going across the body again, and then this way, going backwards, right? In front and back of the leg. You can do both sides, both legs. You want to kick 10 to 15 times each one, right?
And yeah, like those ones you can kick faster. You don't have to go super slow on those ones. You can move a little bit faster on those.
Exactly. That's why we call them shutter kicks. The intention is to move a little quicker, and that quick little fast movement, what you're simulating there is like you walking and kind of people trying to push you over a little bit, right? And it forces your hips to stay active, right? You will feel a burn like very quickly and know it's working. But what I would suggest, use the lighter band, use the yellow band, the lighter one, and then use the broomstick at first until you feel comfortable, right? Just like on the monster walks, use the counters in the kitchen to help with your balance, right? So really great things. And as Krista mentioned here, this webinar is being recorded, and I'm going to show you how to kind of bring all this together so you can put it all in one routine. So you see my screen again here, Rachel?
Yes, I do.
Okay, let me go back to sharing my presentation. Okay, so what I want to show everybody is a way to kind of bring all of these movements together. Looks like it's still loading here.
Yeah, I'll see, it says loading.
And put it in a routine. 1 second, still loading. Let's bring it up.
What you're saying, Chad, is like, I love the resistant bands because they're, like you said, they're so light and compact. I will not travel without them. Whether I'm going to the airport or I'm going somewhere, I bring them with me because they can just be tossed in any bag and they're so easy to use anywhere.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter how old we are. Like they're so good. They're so good. I use these every single day. And again, you will go to physical therapy clinics. Those clinics have access to the best machines in the world, right? Every physical therapist will come back to this every single time because we know it's some of the most important tools to give you good stability. So let me show you guys a routine of what it would look like if you put all this together. To help me is my workout partner, so little baby girl Maya, our little dog, right? So she's always watching me work out, and this is the looks that she gives me, like, when you're going to give me a treat. So here you see I'm breaking all those movements into 3 different sections, right? So you could do 10 pull aparts, 10 shoulder W's, 3 star drill cycles, and that's 1 round. And you can keep cycling through that for 2 to 3 times, right? And that's going to give you a good focus on your posture, on your shoulders, your middle back, your rotator cuff. Like, you're going to really feel it after that. It's going to be good for you. And I put 2 to 3 rounds because you want to go by how you feel. If you're getting really tired and your form isn't holding up anymore, that means it's a good time to kind of stop that area, right? You never want to work out with bad form. So keep that in mind. And the same goes with the repetitions, right? 10 may be perfect for some of you. Some of you it might be too much. Some of you it might not be enough, right? So you could also put a rep range of anywhere from maybe 7 to 15 to make it appropriate for you. Once you're done with the bands that focus on your posture, you can go to the hip section, right? Where you do a 10-meter monster walk forward and backwards. You do a 10-meter monster walk going side to side. Then you do the seated abductions. Then you do the seated from the chair band squats, right? Same thing, 2 to 3 rounds. And then you can go to the last section where you've really hit the balance and do those shutter kicks, about 10 to 15 kicks each way, 4 ways, both legs, 2 to 3 rounds, right? You will feel amazing after that. You will feel some muscles wake up that have maybe been dormant for 20, 30, 50 years, who knows, right? I put rest as needed between movements. There's no rush between this. Put on some good music, maybe a good TV show. You can do this right in your living room. You can put these resistance bands in your pocket wherever you go. Really great, easy routine. And again, we're going to email you a recording of this so you always have access to the instructions on these videos, this actual routine that we're showing you. And lastly, we're going to show you a way you can get resistance bands for free at the end of this presentation. So that is my talk on movement and some things that you can do to improve your posture, your hips, and really stay functionally independent. Now we're going to switch to a different portion of the webinar today. We're going to talk about the #1 supplement for summer, which is, of course, collagen. Right? Collagen, collagen, collagen. And I bring up collagen because it's very applicable to what we were talking about with the human frame. As a physical therapist, when I was working with patients who had joint pain or they were approaching surgery or getting out of surgery, I would always recommend collagen. And this was long before there was even a NativePath. I was getting great results with the recovery of my patients and getting them out of pain fast with collagen. So I'm a huge fan of collagen. I know many of you are. We just want to remind everybody of it, right? It is the most abundant protein in our bodies. It makes up all of the things, right? Our bones, our tendons, our ligaments. It provides support for the growth and repair of cartilage tissue. It helps relieve joint inflammation and pain. It provides a youthful looking skin, healthier nails, and noticeable thicker hair. It's also good for your gut health and decreases digestive discomfort. A lot of people forget that our intestines are made up of collagen, and it also makes for easier weight loss and appetite control because it's a protein. But most of us in our modern culture are extremely deficient in collagen because we don't get enough in our modern culture, right? In terms of our diets, right? Our native ancestors would get plenty of collagen because of the way they eat. They would eat nose to tail. They would make broths. They would put the bones and tendons and ligaments all in one big pot, boil it up, and they would consume that on a regular basis. We're not doing that, right? We're not doing that. And we produce collagen naturally inside of our body, but our production of it really starts to decline around the age of 30, and that increases more and more once we get in our 50s, 60s, and 70s. So it's really important. And we're really biased about our collagen because we think it's the best. And that's because it's type 1, type 3, the purest, most effective collagen that you can get. So we're really excited to share some things with you today. And this is where Rachel is going to show us some of the great ways to use collagen. And she's so good at this. You're going to love what she has to share. Collagen, of course, is great in your morning coffee and your morning tea. but it can be used in so many other ways, delicious ways, and really for the summer, we want something cool, we want something nice. So Rachel's going to show you some great things like that. And let me turn it over to Rachel now, who's gonna show us really this wizard of recipes that she's got for you. So let's get going, Rachel.
All right, Chad, thank you so much. And why I wanted to bring this up is I see this question quite often in the private group, which is, can I add my collagen to other things besides coffee and tea? And absolutely, that's why I'm excited to show you today some of my favorites, because you can enjoy your collagen, not just the regular collagen, but any of our collagen products flavored in any beverage of your choice, like whether it's a peach iced tea, or it's a mocktail. You can have so many different ways to do it. And I'm going to show you how to do it clump free, because that's another thing, is if you put in cold beverages, sometimes you might have it clump up. So I'm going to show you the trick, the 4 steps. If you follow these, which you can see on the screen, I'm going to walk you through it, how to guarantee that you'll have clumpless, delicious cold beverages this summer. But before I begin, I have a favorite recipe of mine. Chad, if you want to click me over to the next screen, this is my gut healing blueberry smoothie. And this is why I'm excited to share it with you, because number one, it's summer. We want refreshing drinks that make us feel good. Like Chad talked about, moving the body, but also putting things in your body that are going to make you feel good. And the ingredients in here, as you can see, we have our 1/2 cup of nut milk. We have our frozen blueberries, which are low in sugar. They're going to be low in calories. They're going to help us have fiber to keep us filled fuller longer. We have our frozen yogurt, which have good probiotics to help with the gut bacteria in the stomach. We have our NativePath collagen, which is going to help heal and seal the gut, and then our protein powder to help us feel satiated longer. So Chad, if you can break it away, I'm going to show you just how simple and easy it is using your blender at home, because these recipes, be creative, have fun in your kitchen, and try different recipes that are going to make you feel good. And with berries right now, they're in season, so they're going to make you feel good. They're less with sugar, because bananas and stuff can spike your sugar. So using fresh berries, great way to feel fuller. And the trick to having good smoothies is to freeze your ingredients. So I froze my 1 cup of blueberries here. And then, like I said, I took coconut yogurt and I froze it in little ice cubes. So this is how you're gonna be able to have good, like it's gonna give us a creamy texture. It's gonna be giving us good probiotics to help the gut bacteria. And then I have my 1 scoop of plain collagen, my 1 scoop of protein powder, and then my 1/4 cup of almond milk. And a question I get asked quite often is which almond milk to use. And it's hard to find a good almond milk because a lot of them have fillers in there. A lot of them have a lot of added ingredients. So one of my favorites is milk. So that would answer that one, because I get that one asked quite a bit. But that's how simple. You just dump everything into the blender, freeze or blend it up. I'll show you in 2 seconds. Look how easy that is. In less than 2 minutes, I have this beautiful, look at that color, that beautiful pure color that comes through from the blueberries. And it's a fun treat to have over the summer. It's a great way to get your boost of collagen. And you know exactly what you're putting into your body, and you're going to feel good by doing it. Oh my gosh, let me dump this a little higher so you guys can see how creamy and good this looks. Look at that. Creamy, purple, beautiful color. It's going to be refreshing. It's going to make you feel good, and it tastes delicious. So let me take a quick sip, because I have a lot to share with you. This is just, we're just getting started here.
That looks amazing, Rachel.
Oh, Chad. Oh my goodness. It's like a blueberry milkshake, but it's not having any dairy. There's not having any sugars in here. You're going to feel good from it. It tastes so incredible. Oh my goodness. You guys have to try this one, and you're going to feel good. It's going to help heal your gut, which is even better, because I know a lot of people have a lot of issues with things they eat causing inflammation, gut issues. But that's number one. Number two, let me bring my screen down a little bit. I talked about how you can enjoy clump-free collagen over the summer. And the trick to enjoying clump-free collagen is I have some cold tea, or I said, sorry, room temperature tea here. And I want to enjoy a peach iced tea. So I'm going to take our delicious peach collagen, and I'm going to add in a scoop to room temperature water. So you're going to take a cup of room temperature water, wherever you're going to mix it in. Take your spoon, take your fork, and mix it in. That is how, number one, the main step to make sure you're going to have clump-free beverages this summer. Room temperature water. If you want to get really fancy, you can bring in your hand frother to mix it in, but just a fork or spoon mixes it right in. You're going to top it off with your cold tea. And seriously, that is simply how you can enjoy it. And if you really want to add your ice cubes and really have a cold beverage, let me add a few in so you can see, kind of making a little bit of a mess. But that is it. That is how you enjoy clump-free beverages. Is the key. Number one, start with your cup with 1/3 of room temperature water. Add your 1 or 2 scoops of whatever collagen you want in. Mix in with a fork, spoon, whatever you have on hand, and then top it off with your cold liquid and then with ice. And that's how you can have delicious peach tea. So just another way for you to enjoy your collagen this summer, clump-free. And I swear, if you do those 4 steps, you're going to be clump-free and enjoying, like I said, mocktails, peach teas. Those are just some of the fun ways to enjoy it. But Chad, if you bring me back to the other screen, I have another smoothie recipe because I already shared the blueberry gut one that helps heal your gut. But because we talked in the beginning how hot it is right now, I have the raspberry refresher. And this one is delicious to quench that thirst because this one has light, fresh raspberries in there. So you get that tang from the raspberries. Again, they're low in sugar. They have the fiber. We're getting the coconut water, which is natural electrolytes, which is going to help us stay hydrated, minerals and vitamins. We have our wild berry collagen, which adds the tanginess of the raspberry with the wild berry collagen. That blend of the tart and sweet is the killer combination. And a scoop of the MCT is going to help you add that healthy fat in to really stay satiated. So this is another one that helps you stay cool and helps you stay hydrated in the summer. So that's one of my favorite. And then, because if I haven't enticed you now to try collagen in different ways, you are in for a treat. So I, to be honest with you, was never a fan of popsicles. Whenever I wanted a cold treat, I would always reach for ice cream. I know I'm guilty of that, but that's until, because I have to tell you, because the sickening amount of sugar that you find in popsicles. I mean, I was reading a box the other day, it had 19 grams of sugar, had dyes in there, artificial, corn syrup, like the amount of stuff you find in popsicles is disgusting. I don't want to be eating that. So I found this amazing peaches and cream recipe that is so simple, so good for you. The benefits of it having no dairy, there's no sugar in here, and it gives you the convenience, like the texture that you get from the coconut milk gives you that creaminess like you'd get from ice cream, but the convenience you get from a popsicle. So it's such a great treat to take on the go. I mean, the benefits from peaches, let me list some of them for you so you can see the benefit: digestive health, heart health, improved immunity health, skin health, and they help decrease inflammation. So not only are you having fun summer treats that help keeping you refreshed over summer, but you're helping your body, your overall health and well-being, and you know exactly what you're putting into your body. And so I took 3, all you need is these 4 simple ingredients to make these recipes, which is 3 ripe peaches, which is going to give a burst of flavor and antioxidants. We're also adding that scoop of peach collagen, which is going to give it that boost of collagen. It's also going to give it more flavoring. And then the coconut yogurt, again, is going to give it that coconut yogurt, and the coconut milk is going to give that creaminess, that texture. And it's going to give it almost like a ice cream texture. And I'm going to show you. So I made these because I had to make them last night. If I make them any sooner, they disappear in my household. But I took everything except for 1 peach, blended up, put it in the popsicle or blender, put it in the popsicle mold, and took that last peach and added some peach chunks in here, because I don't know about you, but I love to be able to indulge and have little peach flavors. But here is my peaches and cream. It is so refreshing, so delicious. And look how good that looks. That looks better than any popsicle you can buy at a store that has loaded sugars and corn syrup in here. This is so stinking good. So I highly, highly recommend you try. And you know what you can even do? You can even make smoothies, make a little extra, and then go ahead and add them to your molds, and you can have popsicles all your molds. So it's just more fun ways to do less work, make a smoothie, and then enjoy popsicles later on. But if I have not enticed you now with 2 smoothie recipes and a peaches and cream popsicle, this one could not get any simpler. And I swear, if you are a mango fan, this reminds me of a mango sorbet. Is so easy and so delicious. You're going to take 2 whole mangoes, a cup of coconut cream. Again, we're getting that healthy fat in there. We're getting the sweetness from the mangoes, and then the amazing benefits that you're going to get from collagen with the healing of the gut, the overall body, the skin, the nails, everything in this simple 3 ingredient recipe. And you can see it's so easy. You just take those 3 ingredients, throw them into the blender, add them to your mix, and in less than 1 day, you're going to have delicious popsicles that you can enjoy at home. And then one more, just because it was the 4th of July, I had to come up with one more delicious recipe. And if you're a froyo fan, which I know a lot of people are, they have so many bad ingredients in it, but this one is going to satisfy that, because I took our coconut yogurt and added a scoop of our vanilla bean collagen, which has an insane flavor, that vanilla bean flavor, that natural sweetness with that coconut yogurt, divine. Throw it into your mold, add some berries for a pop of color, and it's another fun, delicious, simple recipe. And it's a great balance between that, the creaminess that you get from the yogurt, the health benefits you're getting, and then you're getting the little fun color, natural colors from your fresh fruit, and not artificial things that we're adding in. So these are just some recipes to show you how fun and how easy it is to enjoy your collagen beyond just adding it to your coffee and your tea. You can enjoy these all summer long. And I swear, like, whether you're doing it for you, your grandkids, for you, any, like your own kids, like these are fun treats to serve everybody. And they're so tasty and so simple to make. And you know exactly what's in it. So it's a win-win. But I hope you try them. And like Chad said, we will be emailing you all these recipes after. So I cannot wait to hear which ones you like. Or if you come up with any new ones, let me know, because I'm always looking for new recipes.
Rachel, these look amazing. Thank you so much. Like people are kind of drooling in the Slack channel, and I love how you're really showing ways that we can use some of these flavored collagens, right? With the peach, with the wild berry, with the vanilla. A lot of people are just using plain collagen, which is good, but we can get really creative with a lot of fun recipes that you've come up with. So thank you so much for sharing. Really cool
Of
stuff.
course, of course. And Chad, with the wild berry, even like I know people will get those little miho, or like those little flavor enhancer things that have like squirt all those sugars and things into water and all the chemicals and dyes. And because I know some people have struggled drinking water, especially like when it gets hotter, it's even more important that you drink it. And so by adding a scoop of wild berry or peach to your water, you're infusing it with something that's going to make you feel good without all the dyes, with all the sugars, and it tastes delicious. I tell people all the time in the private community, I sprinkle my wild berry collagen in my water all through summer, and that's how I can meet my goal every single day, because it's such a delicious, refreshing way to enjoy your water without all the junk that you typically find. So
So true. And I love you brought that up because there's a lot of junk out there, right? And what we say here at Native Path is we're trying to get you on the path and stay on the path. And that also means getting you off the path of the conventional foods with all the junk and all the sugars. I mean, like you mentioned popsicles and froyos and things like that. Just look at the ingredients in those things. You're going to find a lot of things you can't pronounce, a lot of things they don't even know what it does to our bodies. You know, we have obesity epidemics, and it's like, hello, like look at the ingredients. Like our bodies don't recognize this stuff, but this is all natural ingredients. You know, pure collagen, some of the best sources that we do here at Native Path. So thank you so much for showing us these amazing, delicious recipes, especially in the heat, like when it's so hot outside. These frozen popsicles and things like that. So really cool. Thank you so much, Rachel. All right, so we mentioned the free resistance bands. We have an exclusive webinar offer today. So we have all flavors of collagen plus the resistance bands for free for everyone watching here today. We want to make sure these summer treats are available for you. We have the perfect offer today. So with the exclusive link that Krista put in the chat, we're putting it in the chat now. You can make these recipes at home. You're able to select which specific flavors you want to try, and with your bundle you will get the yellow and red resistance bands. We have really great resistance bands. They're awesome. They're branded Native Path. Those on their own have an $18 value. Like you could go to a website right now for 18. We want to give you those for free. Like we want you to have those tools and use these exercises. And again, this is going to be, the recording is going to be sent to you in your email box, so you can always come back to these recipes. You can always come back to the exercises that I showed you, and you have those resources available, and you can stay consistent in our community. Show us what you're doing. But this is an amazing offer for you to take advantage of today, where you can get those bands and you can try the flavor that you really want to try more than anything else. So definitely take advantage of that. Again, that's an exclusive offer. You can get any flavor of collagen up to 45% off the retail price, plus the free resistance bands, which are valued at $17.95. So really great deal, all coming with the bundles. So now I believe we have some questions. So now's a good time to go to break out, and we'll do some questions. But feel free. We have a Q&A section. So if you have a specific question that's going to show up for us a little bit better, you can put it in the Q&A section. We'll answer as many questions as we can, as best we can. So we go ahead and stop my share here, And let's go to the first Q&A question here. So Brenda says, Rachel said to freeze all the ingredients for smoothies. Is that correct, Rachel?
So yes, if you want, it depends on your preference. If you want a thicker smoothie texture, consistency, I recommend always freezing your, for example, my blueberries, my fruit, whatever I'm going to use, I always freeze it. My liquid, I typically leave that as is because otherwise it's going to be hard to blend. So almond milk, I leave as is, but frozen fruit, yes. And for this one, because I use coconut yogurt, I froze that one as well to make it thicker. So I would recommend if you want a thicker smoothie.
Awesome. And I forget where it was. I'm scrolling up in the chat here. Someone asked about the exercises and if they would be okay for someone with osteoporosis or any bone issues. Yes. When it comes to strengthening the health of your bones, what your bones really want to be stronger and more dense is resistance. So that's what we're doing here is we're applying resistance to the direction of your different joints, the different directions they can go in, and that in and of itself makes your bones stronger. I would also often get upset when I have a patient with osteoporosis. They would go to the doctor. The doctor would never recommend or even mention how the bones can get stronger with resistance exercise. Resistance exercise is one of the key components to keeping your bones dense and strong, and also just good for longevity and going back to your health span, making sure you're independent. So really important. Gail says, what is the shelf life of collagen? Long shelf life. You're talking 5 years. Really long shelf life. So it can last a really long time. And ours is the purest type of collagen, so that really extends the shelf life. Doesn't have any fillers or any sugars or anything like that. It's very pure. Martina says, I want to make the recipes, but I can't until August. Well, we'll do our best. Gail says, unopened 5 year store where you can store them anywhere in a room temperature climate. You can put them in your pantry. You can put in your closet. We have a whole lot down in our pantry, so it can stay stored for a long time. Amy says, thank you for doing this. You're so welcome. Considering a gym membership, but now I don't think it's necessary. So true, Amy. Like, I don't have a gym membership. I've never had a gym membership. I prefer to work out at home. When we think about the gym, the most time is going to the gym, is getting dressed, driving your car, going to the gym. You walk inside, you give them your car. That's 30 minutes. And then you work out for 45 minutes, maybe an hour and a half, and then you do the whole thing coming back. But a whole hour is just to get there and get back, right? And you pay the fee. As long as you can stay active at home and stay consistent, that's the most important thing. So Krista says, are there any other things I would recommend for bone health? Yes. So on top of collagen and resistance exercise, other things I would recommend would be vitamin D, which is very important for your bone health. The best way to get vitamin D is always going to be going and getting natural sun exposure, right? Particularly in the morning, right? When the sun's coming up, sun rises, and the evening sun sets, exposing as much of your skin as possible. So if women want to wear tank tops, if men want to take their shirt off, that's going to be better for you. You can also supplement with vitamin D. Anywhere from 2,000 to 4,000 IUs is a very safe dosage for your bone health. Also helpful would be magnesium. Magnesium is another thing that really helps you absorb all the vitamins and minerals, the collagen, the vitamin D into your body and get into your bones so you can stay strong. So that's really the recommendation is collagen. We also have a bone health collagen that's very targeted towards the health of the bones, magnesium, vitamin D, and resistance exercise. That is truly like one of the most effective things you can do. Susan said, how do you flavor your collagen powder? Is it artificial? It's all natural flavorings, and we use monk fruit and stevia, like just enough. It's not overly sweet, so really good stuff there. Demetria says, if I'm diabetic, can this affect my health? So with the monk fruit and stevia, it doesn't negatively impact your blood sugar. So unlike regular sugar or say honey, which is really going to spike your glucose, that's the reason why we chose stevia and monk fruit. It's much more beneficial for the body and the blood sugar regulation. Masrisha, I hope I got that right, says, where can I get a good magnesium? We have a magnesium on our own. We have a NativePath magnesium, and we call it Native Balance. And the great thing about that is it has magnesium oxate and citrate. Those are two types of magnesium that are really beneficial for reducing stress. It's also very well absorbed. And the other thing we put in there is ashwagandha, which is great for stress relief. So you can find that on nativepath.com. Just go to shop, look for Native Balance. It's got a purple label on there. Really great. Yep, as Krista said, that's great. What are the purity issues? So Laline says, what are the purity issues with wild caught marine collagen? So if it's wild caught, it's not necessarily the purity issues, it's the effectiveness, right? So that's pescatarian collagen. Pescatarian collagen tends to not be as well absorbed or as effective as mammalian collagen. Humans are mammals, right? We're not fish. So we tend to absorb better when things are getting collagen that's actually like the collagen we have in our body, right? So as opposed to marine collagen or any multi-type of collagen, we really prefer type 1, type 3 from bovine hides. That's the most effective, strongest, purest forms of collagen. Joanne says, just order from the web, special link. So please, okay, got that. Joanne, I think you ordered some, I think you got excited and you ordered those resistance bands without knowing we were going to give them to you for free. But we took care of it for you. Good. All right. Gail says, Gail says, I'll be traveling for a month in Italy. What is the best way to bring my collagen in MCT? Or should I just do without it for 4 weeks? I would definitely recommend taking it with you. Now, Gail, we are coming out. This is a teaser. Sometimes very soon, later this year, we're going to come out with stick packs. So the stick packs are great, but in the meantime, what I recommend you doing is just taking your collagen, putting it in a Ziploc bag, putting in a scoop in there. You can just curl it, fold it over. It goes nice and neat into your suitcase, takes up very little space, and you can just take out a scoop. Just take this, put the scoop in there, and that's a great, easy way to travel with it. Gail says, fantastic web chat. Thank you for the email. So happy and grateful. Thank you so much, Gail. Really appreciate it. And yeah, try the flavors. They're wonderful. Really, I think you'll love the recipes that Rachel shared with you today and the bands. Reve, hope I got that right. Reve, is there a place online where all your ops, your earlier webinars are stored? Yes. So if you go to YouTube, and you can see all of our pre-recorded webinars on there. We have so many webinars, like I said, on 20 something by now, probably more, on all kinds of topics, from circulation to bone health to cognition, like lots of different things that we've discussed. So there's all kinds of topics, but you'll see in the YouTube section where you can find that. Kenny says,
we have quite a few questions in the Q&A thread now.
all right, let's see what we got here. Okay, I'm 78, just started. I'm also on a fixed income. What are my options? Well, so Judy, when it comes to exercise, those free resistance bands are going to save you a lot, right? So if you get a bundle today, you're going to have the discount on the collagen, but also the free resistance bands, and you have a whole workout routine without having to pay for that, right? So as far as the essentials, it comes down to protein, collagen, and then water and good movement. So start there and get feeling good, and stop doing the things that are harmful, like sodas and toxic fats and really poor quality grains and things like that. Chad, how do I find a good osteoporosis trainer or physical therapist for my osteoporosis condition? I need to make a new plan to come up with some new exercises. So Brenda, what I showed you today will actually be pretty good. I think before you go and try to find someone else, try what we showed you today. And I think that'd be a good start. If you want something more individualized for you, what I would do is go to your doctor and ask for a referral for a physical therapist, and Google in your area osteoporosis physical therapy, and you can probably find somebody. That's a good start. Joyce says, thanks always. I've been taking collagen for lots of years and find it worth it, and coming up on my 83 years, Sister Joyce. Thank you, Sister Joyce. Love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. I love that you're still going with it, 83 years strong. Love it. Araceli, I hope I got that right. I have osteoporosis. I take vitamin D3. Do you think, what else do you think I should take? I take collagen peptides for some time now. So going back to what I discussed earlier, taking the magnesium would be very helpful. Adding the resistance exercises like we showed you today would be very, very helpful. Going for morning and evening walks so you get natural sun exposure will really help boost that vitamin D. And if you're unaware, we also have a bone health collagen. There's an incredible amount of research on this bone health collagen that we have. And if you want to watch the whole webinar, just go to our YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube, look for NativePath. We did an entire webinar on our bone health collagen. So many studies showing the effectiveness of what it can do within a 3 to 6 month period. People improving their DEXA scans. That's a great thing to do on top of regular collagen and vitamin D and magnesium and resistance exercise. Really great thing that you can do. Virginia says, do you still put coconut chunks in your MCT powder? Not coconut chunks. Yeah, it's all broken up. But the MCT does come from coconut, and that's a good thing as opposed to getting your MCT from palm, right? Palm is not necessarily sourced in the most ethical way, so we chose to do it with coconuts. Let's see here. Any more questions? All right, I think we're getting these questions knocked out here. And all right, I think we're getting there. Okay,
Yeah.
I think we're getting there. So one question said, why do you offer type 1 and type 3 and not all 5 types of NativePath collagen? So main thing, with the studies that we feel confident in show that type 1 and type 3 are the most bioavailable, meaning your body absorbs them the best and they're the most effective, right? The other collagens, type 2, type 4, type 5, they're less bioavailable, they're less effective. So what you're getting with a lot of this multi-collagen, what we consider it, is just like kind of watered down collagen, right? It sounds fancy. It sounds like you're getting all these great things. But if you go towards the research, that's not what it shows. Type 1, type 3, most bioavailable, most effective. So that's one of the best things you can do. Okay, I think that's it. Can I bundle my choice of collagen with different flavors instead of buying one flavor bundle? So Gail, right now you can choose one flavor, and that will give you the resistance bands. What you can do is go back and choose multiple flavors and keep going through it again. Unfortunately, we don't have a page right now set up where you can choose all those different things. If you do want to do that, you can go to nativepath.com and put anything you want into your cart, but just know that you won't be able to get the discount that we're offering today, and that won't come with the resistance bands. So the easier thing to do is maybe click on the link, get the flavor you want, and then go back and do it again and get another flavor. You'll have 2 sets of resistance bands. Maybe you can give one to a friend and kind of get a little creative that way. But that way, you still get the savings of what you want to do today. So Pauline says, thank you, Dr. Chad. Collagen does wonders for my skin. Thank you, Pauline. And isn't it great when your son knows it gives you compliments? Isn't that wonderful? I think that's the best. All right. Thank you, Gail. And again, for everybody, Krista put this link in here where you can claim your webinar exclusive savings this last time. We're going to close it out here. You're so welcome, Linda. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you, Jamie. Again, we're going to email everything to you. So if I know a few people weren't able to see Rachel's recipes. You should be able to see them in the recording. It'll have everything in there for you. If you're not somewhere where you can, purchase right now, the recording, the email will also have a link where you can purchase. So thank you all so much. We love doing these webinars. We also love your feedback, and so that's really appreciated. Thank you, Barbara. And we will see you again. We're going to be doing more of these webinars more often with lots of fun topics like this where we get a little more active and get in action, so to speak. So Rachel, any final words for everybody?
No, I do want to, because going back to that, can they customize a different flavor? And Krista did say if they want to call into one of our amazing agents, the agents can always help them customize the variety of flavors they want to in the same bundle.
Okay, great. Krista, do you have the number they can call? I know they can email at cs@nativepath.com. You can email cs@nativepath.com. But if we can get the number that they can call, that's right, our customer service, our amazing customer experience team will honor that.
Give me 2 seconds. I'll paste that in here. And yes, it's if you email, you may not get a response within the next 24 hours, but here is the phone number. You just have to let them know that you attended the webinar, you want to do this special offer, and they'll tell you the discounts and everything that you can get, and you can still get those free resistance bands, because we're working on developing a page where you can do this yourself. But the customer service thing is in there. It's also on our website. If you don't catch it right now, it's on our website at nativepath.com. But yes, going to our the special offer page, it should be on there in the FAQ as well.
Awesome. Thank you, Kristen. For those who may just be listening, that number is 1-800-819-2993. And you'll be amazed at how nice our customer experience team is. I love them so much. They're wonderful. Last question from Kay Dodds. What was a question about collagen and kidney disease? If anyone has kidney disease, Generally, collagen is safe, right? But when we have something like that going on, it is always best to talk to your doctor, let them know what's going on, and they're familiar with your lab work, the state of your kidney, and whether or not you can bring in more aggressive proteins and if collagen is safe. But generally, it's okay, but we always want to be on the safe side. So, okay, everyone, thank you all so much. We really enjoyed this. Please, if you haven't, join our Facebook group. That's NativePath Private Community. Myself, Rachel are always in there. We have lots of great challenges coming up. So thank you all so much. Stay cool out there. Check this out, Rachel. It's my thing. You got one of these? You need one of these?
No, you do not have a handheld fan. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Does it spray water too?
Yeah, I do.
Love
Yeah.
it.
You know who loves it is Maya, our dog. She really loves it. So, okay, everybody. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you very soon. Yoo-hoo!
Bye.